These two motherfuckers put on a show. They put on a show. Yo, clearly no debate. Giving y'all my official recap of Danny Myers versus Dizaster. Now, before I get into the recap, I'm going to say this. I will be doing a separate town business recap for the whole card, but I felt like that these two juggernauts, these two kings, they deserved their own personal recap because it's a lot that I want to say. It's a lot that I want to put out there. Shit, I almost wish that I rehearsed this shit, but I'm gonna just go ahead and just do like how I've been doing on my vlogs. I'm gonna just go off the top with it. Okay, so this main event was pit style. If y'all know King of the Dot, they have done a few of the pit style battles. Well, all of day two was a pit style event. It wasn't a stage event, it was a pit style event. So that was dope. And you could immediately see the energy the minute that both of these two guys, was front and center. A lot of the other battlers that participated was on both sides. They was on both sides. They was on that side. Like they were engaged. They was ready to see the shits. After one coin toss, Danny Myers chose to go first. Danny Myers comes out, saying that Diaz didn't have him in his movie, which had got the crowd chuckling or whatever. And then from there, Danny just started being Danny. Danny started bringing the bars. The sauce was there. So Danny, he came and he was doing what Danny usually do. He was getting busy. He most definitely was getting busy in that first round. The one thing that impressed me so much about Danny Myers is, well, I could say both Dizaster and Danny Myers, is the energy of their style and how they can keep the bars. It's almost like they're going through a Rolodex real fast. And how they can keep their bars going, no matter if they got to stop, bring it back, and then just keep that same energy going. To me, that's very impressive about both of those guys. Big shout out to Avocado because I know he's gonna have a field day editing this because of all the movement. It was even one part in the battle where it was almost like Diaz and Danny forget that the camera was there, and Diaz like had his whole back to the camera, and they had to move to another angle to still get like the face-to-face look between Danny and Dizaster. But anyway, Danny goes first, and his first was great. His first, he came out ready to fight. Dizaster goes next. Wait, before I even jump into Dizaster's first round, to me, Danny had a lot of standout bars. I'm not going to go over all of their bars because, of course, King of the Dot got to put the card out for people that didn't order the pay-per-view or whatever. But I really enjoyed the CIA bar that Danny Myers had in the first round towards Dizaster, which was a crazy, crazy, crazy bar. And that was like a really good standout bar for me. Then going on into Dizaster's round. Dizaster's round was a little bit longer, but Dizaster's round, he came in and he was Dizaster. He really showed why he sits on that level of God tier, and it's only a handful of battle rappers you name that are considered God tier. I'm talking the Dizasters, the Loaded Luxes, the Murder Mooks, and now you can put Averb up there as a God tier. Ever since you can arguably say that he slayed Murder Mook or whatever, but Dizaster really showed that yes, that you are a king, Danny, but I am kind of a god here. But in the same sense of Dizaster having a longer first, he had a little bit of filler in that first. And I think what it was is that Dizaster was just happy to be back on KOTD, so he wanted to put his best foot forward. And after the first round, like to me, Dizaster had a lot of standout bars, but the one standout bar, well, it's many, but the one that I chose to give y'all was the squeeze you white in the face, squeeze you white in the face like Sammy Sosa. That was a very interesting and yet funny bar to me. And I ended up giving the first round to Danny Myers. I thought Danny Myers' first round was a little bit better than Dizaster's because Danny Myers' first round was like kind of short to the point. And I don't want to make this seem like I'm knocking people with long verses or long rounds or whatever. Because sometimes a long round could just kill whatever anything somebody is saying, but sometimes a long round can shoot you in the foot. And I kind of think Dizaster was just happy to be back on KOTD. He wanted to put his best foot forward. He wanted to give the best material possible. But I think because Danny's round was shorter and more concise, I ended up edging the first round to Danny in that case. On round 2, Danny comes out. He pulls basically the Chef Trez. He throws out 5 quick rebuttals. To me personally, I think 3 out of the 5 landed well, and that's just in my personal opinion. I mean, the crowd was rocking with all 5 of them, but 3 out of the 5 rebuttals landed. And then after that, Danny just started coming, then he started coming with a whole bunch of just crazy bars or whatever. And Danny, he wasn't letting up. It seemed like Danny got stronger as the battle progressed. And that was very interesting to me because it's only a handful of battlers that can do that. And Danny is one of them. And he really showed a lot more that what he can do for this battle. It was like Danny really came prepared for this battle, almost overly prepared, but there's really no such thing as overly prepared. You either is or you aren't prepared. And Danny, he came to play. I thought it was a very strong round from Danny. One of the standouts is, there's a difference between being a GOAT and a GOAT herder. That was a crazy line. And then, of course, he had I have to add this one in there. I know I was only saying I was going to give one, but the grab the scissors and Bashir will get murdered by the shears that I do. Like, it was crazy how Danny put that together. That shit was fucking nuts. Like, that dude, that bar, I literally had to rewind it back, listen to it again, rewind it back, and listen, because I said, yo, this is crazy what he was saying. And the crowd most definitely fucked with that bar or whatever. And it was just crazy. Yeah, I wrote some of these shits down. Anyway, we go into Dizaster's round, and as Danny got stronger, so did Dizaster. And again, he was showing the difference between a god tier and a king. And this is where I felt Dizaster started taking over the battle, because me, even though I am a fan of punchlines, I'm a fan of the witty wordplay, I am a fan of how that I lean also a little bit towards the real talk. And Dizaster pulled some real talk out in this battle, whatever. He went very real with Danny Myers in the second round about a lot of stuff that was going on. I mean, he had the Farnsworth Bentley Outcast line on you the only person under your umbrella. Like, that shit was fucking crazy. Of course, he had the Mandela effect bar. He was kind of making fun of Danny Myers' parallel universe shit. And it was Dizaster literally came to play. But the thing is that Dizaster, he went a little bit more personal. I ended up giving that second round to Dizaster. I thought Dizaster took that second round like pretty clear, because as the round kept going and I was listening to Dizaster, especially when he started getting real with Danny Myers, I was forgetting more of what Danny was saying in that round. And I'm not taking nothing away from Danny's round, because that second round Danny could have beat, I'm going to go out on the limb and say 90% of other battle rappers, but Dizaster, he really showed the difference between a god tier and a king. And this is going to be basically the whole point I'm going to be driving across throughout this matchup between those two. And I gave that second round to Dizaster. After that, we goes on to the third or whatever, and the energy is still high between these two. The energy is still high. And the interesting thing is, as high as the energy was, they came out like they hated each other, but you can see that they had mutual respect for one another. And that's also a great thing. That's the number one thing I love about battle rap, man, is because, don't get me wrong, we like them grudge matches, but I also like a good fight where two people, they can throw it all to the side that we used to be boys or we're boys now, but this is business, and they could still have a fucking war. Like, I like that, man, because to me it almost comes out like y'all are bringing the best out of each other because y'all still know what's at stake with one another. We go into the third, and Danny was Danny. Danny kicked it up another level, man. Like, Danny literally came to play in this battle. And Danny really wanted to prove that I deserve to sit up there amongst the greats. I call myself the GOAT. I feel I am the GOAT. I am the bar guy, but y'all don't respect me. And I'm going to show you that I need to be up there with y'all. And y'all are gonna accept that, point blank, period. Y'all are gonna accept that this work I'm giving y'all, these bars I'm giving y'all, And Danny, he was just going, man. But the one standout, man, he ended up getting a little bit of real talk or whatever, especially about the West. And he talked about what the fuck Mook and Lux did for us or whatever. Like, he really drove that home, because it was almost a battle cry statement, or that ultimate haymaker in a speech when you're trying to rally your troops, that everybody is praising this side, but we was doing this shit too. And these two people that y'all are calling kings or gods didn't even rock with us over here or did nothing for, our side. It was just their side and nobody else could get in. It was basically like the cool kids is not letting in the cool kids over here, And it was a very strong line and a strong message from Danny Myers when he said it. Of course, Danny had a crazy parallel universe, crazy parallel universe bar in the third or whatever that still hit or whatever. Of course, the one of the biggest punches that landed from Danny Myers is the "Can Dizaster beat me in this pit here? No, can do." The crowd went fucking nuts or whatever, and that's how Danny cleared out his third. Of course, we go to Dizaster's third, and then Dizaster he comes with some punches, but then Dizaster gets back into the real talk, and when Dizaster gets back into the real talk, man, it was like I was writing down his punches. But when Dizaster got into that real talk, I scratched all that shit. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just stick to this shit or whatever. And he gives a history lesson of the West, breaking everything down that they had, and was also saying, how is you this great battler and you wanted to sit up here with us, but you was never at none of these things that we were doing in the very beginning. But at the same time, you decided to move to New York or whatever to try to pursue being a great battler, basically saying, he was almost basically saying Danny felt that he would be more accepted if he battled over there versus staying at home and battling at home to basically build up what Mook and Lux built up over there. Well, the Murder Mooks, the Luxes, and I can't forget Sirius Jones. But stay your ass home and build it up over there. So while they got their three greats or two greats, however y'all want to count it, we also got our greats over here, but we're also building up our own brand over here as well. And to me, that hit home or whatever, because I know people that literally feel like, well, if I don't make it right here, I'm not going to make it. So I'm going to go this way down to fuck with these people over fucking with my own team, to possibly get on. And I don't know if it's true, but how Dizaster put it together, it was pretty damn powerful. He had the crazy Fight Club footage, OJ Simpson line. And then of course he basically went, he went Professor Diz, without the without the jacket and goggles on Danny Myers or whatever. And that was even fucking crazy. And then after he did all that, he went back into his original Dizaster shit and just was hitting with, the metaphors, similes, man, and just was coming back to back to back to back to back. And then, he closed out his round. And I ended up giving the third round to Diz. So I'm calling this battle 2-1 to Dizaster. But I'm going to say this about Danny Myers. And I really hope Danny Myers hears this. This is one of the best things that I could give to Danny Myers, you know. And I'm not a battle rapper, so I'm not going to sit up here. I'm just basically going to say this. Even though I believe you lost, you showed in this battle you deserve to sit up there with the greats. The reason why you showed that is because you stood in front of a God tier as a warrior, as a king, and it was spots you made that man bleed. Most God, how's the best way to put it? Most of these dudes, they're talented, but most of these dudes, we as fans know, they're not ready to stand with a loaded Lux. We might be a big fan of certain dudes, but we know they're not ready to stand in front of a loaded Lux. They're not ready to stand in front of a Murder Mook. They're not ready to stand with a 100% focused Averb. As much as people want to say that they hate Averb, they can't stand Averb, I can tell you this now. When Averb is 100% focused, a lot of motherfuckers cannot fuck with this man. And we've seen the footage. When Dizaster is 100% and focused, and especially it's almost like when he has a little bit of more respect for his opponent, it's almost like it's hurting him. He has to go to this level because he knows deep down inside you're not going to take no edge off of him because you want to kill him. You deserve to sit up there. And this is what I want to say to you, brother. Now that I feel you should sit up there now, and you have that right to sit up there now, even though, again, in my personal opinion, you didn't get the win. And there's a lot of people that feel like you did get the win. And I'm pretty sure you felt like you got the win. Now, here is where you actually have to be a God tier. And it's almost literally saying, what decisions do you want to make now? Now, if you're doing this for the competition, that's great. If you're doing this for the bread or whatever, you know, you got bills, bada, bada, boom, 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 boom. That ain't my business. Do you? That's great. But now, if none of those is really the issue, you got to act like a God tier now. Meaning a lot of battlers, even though you give shots, and I salute you for that, because most of these motherfuckers, they get a certain status, they're scared to give shots. You give shots. But now, as you're getting ready to ascend from king to God tier, everybody can't have access to you. Everybody can't have access to you. So it starts to become a treat. It really becomes a treat whenever a Dizaster is on the card, whenever a Loaded Lux is on the card, a Murder Mook is on the card, Averb is on the card. Averb been sitting out, and it's like a lot of people that even hate this motherfucker, like, yo, I'm actually can't wait to see what he about to bring in his next battle. That's how I view God tiers. Once you reach that level of God tier, in my opinion, you should give minimum access to just about anybody. It's certain people, it's certain work that you have to look at all of these up and comers and say, he did enough to stand in front of me. I'm about to give him a shot. Because you got a lot of people, and I'm about to say this about the crowds as well. You get those reactions over there, but bro, when you was on the West, they fucking loved you over there. They loved you over there. You showed, your power really showed from the energy that them people was giving you. You get a little bit of love over there. You get a little bit of love over there. You get a little bit of love from the vloggers or whatever. But man, you look damn near godly over there. And it was impressive as fuck to me how you was able to make a God tier see his own blood. And again, I feel like now it's this personal decision that you should make. Like, yo, if I'm sitting up here amongst the greats, I got to start moving different. Because remember, this, like, man, you battle too much. You always want me in your corner, but you always battling. What you gonna do, Danny? And I know you got bars to go. I know you want to give the bars to the world, but sometimes, man, once you reach a certain level or you want to reach that plateau where your name is talked about amongst everybody else, you got to start limiting your access. Remember, after Floyd got to a certain level, it was like the Floyd Mayweather lottery. Everybody was calling out Floyd, but it was Floyd saying, I'm ready for you. Same thing with, Deontay Wilder. Well, Deontay Wilder is a different story. Like Deontay Wilder, I think he'll just scrap with anybody, but I think it's basically whatever last heavyweight made the biggest impact Deontay Wilder will give a shot to. But it's literally like, the UFC champion. You make your list of everybody that's under you, top 5. All right, this person beat this person, they move to number 3. Okay, if the number 2 beat the number 1, he gonna be my new number 1 contender. I'm gonna give him a shot. You got something, bro. These motherfuckers can deny it all they want, but you got something, bro. You got something, and I'm hoping battle rap lasts for a long time. But when you walk away from this shit, there's no reason that you should not be on a God tier level. By the time you walk away from this shit, you can't be, man, Danny Myers was a king, but he just didn't get over that niche to become God tier. I ain't saying you got to start turning into a cocky asshole or anything like that, but it's like, man, what do you want to do? Do you want to limit your access now? You want to limit your access now because you see all of these other people now, as they reach that level, they're starting to limit their access. And now you can sit amongst those people, and then you'll have people that are writing with the purpose of, I got to get Danny Myers. I got to get Danny Myers. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though I got you losing to this, and I'm saying you can't ascend to God tier, somehow you're going to have to get your hands on a couple of other God tier level people to solidify yourself. The reason why a lot of people can consider Averb a God tier now is because Averb battled damn near every Mount Rushmore candidate and arguably beat every Mount Rushmore candidate. So that's the only message that I have for you or whatever, man, because like I said, I am a big fan of battle rap in general, and I like when motherfuckers bring it. This battle, honestly, was a fucking incredible ass battle, man, from beginning to end, and you showed me a different level, even though this showed why he is considered a God tier. You showed me a different level, man. You showed me a different level. I kind of put this battle as in the same eye of Goku versus Vegeta during the Majin Buu saga. When Vegeta, became Majin Vegeta, he was Super Saiyan 2, Goku was Super Saiyan 2. And Vegeta wanted that smoke. And Goku gave him the smoke or whatever, and Vegeta looked like he could have been the stronger dude, but deep down inside, Goku had Super Saiyan 3. And Vegeta found out and was pissed about it. Like, damn, man, you made me think I was on your level. Well, in this case, Diz pulled out Super Saiyan 3. He didn't hold back. He did not want to give you this. he just pulled Super Saiyan 3 out and showed you, like, yo, man, you was there, but I got a little secret for you. But with that being said, man, this battle was fucking crazy, man, and you should tip your hat whether you feel you won, you lost, whether fans say you won or lost. You should tip your fucking hat because, bruh, the West was riding for you, and they loved you over there, brother. They loved you over there. Clearly no debate. Great fucking battle from Town Business. Salute the king of the dot. Salute to Diz. Salute to Danny Myers. Again, I got Dizaster 2-1 in a fucking incredible battle. I'll holler at y'all next time.